Hare Krishna. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyanagna Shalakaya Chakshurmilitamina Tasmai Shiguru Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapitmena Bhutale Svapakadam Hyam Dati Swapadantikam Вандехам Шигуру Шютапада Камалам Шигуру Вишнявща, Шируф Граждан Схагна Рагунатан Витам Там Садживам, с двойтым Савдутам Парична Схитам Кришна Читания Девам, Ширада Кришна Пада Схагна Олита Шивишакан Витам Шча, и Кришна Каруна Синду Дина Банду Джагат Пате, Гупеша Гопика Канта Рада Канта Намостоте, Тапта Канчана Гауранге, Рада Вриндаванешвари, Вришапану Суте Деви, Пранамами Хари Прие. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare not today, on Wednesday, on the 15th of March, is the appearance day of of Shrivasa, Acharya. Just a moment. Just a moment to find something about Shrivasacharya. About Shrivasa Pandit. Okay, there is some song. Quite a long text. I will see if I will give all the if I will read everything. Sayarte Vivritas Tar, yeah, there's some song. Asiarto Vivritas Tar, Asiarto Vivritas Tar, Sankshipya Vilikyata Bhaktarupa Gorachandro Yata Sanandana Bhakta Svarupa Nityananda Vrajaya Shri Hayuda Bhaktavattaracharya Vaidaya Shri Sadashiva Bhaktakya Shrinivasadya Yataste Bhaktarupina Bhakta Shakti Tvijagrana Shri Gadadara Pandita Shri Gadadara Pandita. This is obviously from Gora Gopadesh Deepika 11. I shall now summarily explain the meaning of these words. In this Panchatattva, the Bhakta Rupa form of a devotee is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who formerly appeared as Sri Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. The Bhakta Swarupa, devotional incarnation, is Lord Nityananda, who formerly appeared as in Vrajabhumi as Lord Balarama. The Bhakta Avatara, devotional manifestation, is Lord Advaita Acharya, who is not different from Sadashiva. Bhatakya, pure devotee, is Srinivasa and other great devotees as well. The Bhakta Shakti, devotional energy, is Gadadhara Pandit, the foremost of Brahmanas. From Gora Gopadesh, Gora Ganodesh Deepika 11. And now, Gaura Ganodesh Deepika 13. Shri Vishvambara Dvaita Nityananda Vaduta Atratraya Samuneha Vigraha Prabhavasata Eko Mahaprabhu Jaya Shri Chaitanya Daya Prabhudha Shri Yuta Nitya Nanda Dvaita Mahashoya Gosvamani Vigrashchate Dvijasha Kadadara Panchatattvatmakate Srinivasa Sapanditaha. Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Avaduta, and Lord Advaita are all incarnations of the supremely exalted personality of Godhead, and they are all known by the title Prabhu, Master. Among them, Lord Chaitanya, who is an ocean of mercy, is known as Mahaprabhu, the Great Master. And the great personalities Lord Nityananda and Lord Advaita are known only as Prabhu, Master. All these are also known as Goswami, Master of the Senses. Gadadhara is called by the title Dvija, Brahmana, and Srinivasa is called by the title Pandita, learned scholar. These are the titles of the members of the Panchatattva. Gora Ganodesha Deepika 13. O my Lord Gorahari, you are the abode of auspiciousness, which is as beautiful as the kirtan of Krishna. You are the ocean of elegance, bestower of the constant flow of devotion and mountain of love, which is as bright as gold. Your beautiful features give soothing relief to the eyes of every living being, and you are mankind's salvation from all kinds of misfortune. You are the center of the Lila Vilasa and the life of the devotees. Be kind to me. This is from Bhakti Rantakara KJA1. Whatever it does mean, whatever it means, some kind of number of site, some kind of number of page, or maybe some kind of number of verse from Bhakti Ratnakara. Another citation, again from this Bhakti Ratnakara, KJA2, whatever it should mean with these letters. O my Prabhu, Sri Gopala Bhatta, the bee at the lotus-like feet of Sri Gaura. You are the sun which destroys the darkness of illusion, the ocean of kindness, and the greatest of all the Brahmanas. You are the son of Sri Venkatabhata and a valuable ornament of divine love and devotion. You are the destroyer of worldly miseries and a resort of happiness to the misery-stricken people. O Lord, save me. Bhakti Ratnakara KJA2. Another citation from the same book, Bhakti, but this time 3. Bhakti Ratnakara KJA3. O my Prabhu, Srila Gopala Bhatta, a bee at the lotus-like feet of Mahaprabhu. You are the most skillful devotee of the Lord, O my Prabhu Srinivasa, whose complexion is as golden as Sri Sachinandana. You are the you are the king amongst all the Brahmanas. Please bless me. Bhakti Ratnakara KJA3. Okay. I constantly worship the companions of Srinivasa Prabhu, who is like the wishing tree of devotional love of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Chandra. Bhakti Ratnakara KJA4. My dear listeners, please repeatedly and joyfully hear the Bhakti Ratnakara, which is the life of all Vaishnavas and the destroyer of all miseries and misfortunes. Bhakti Ratnakara KJA5. Sri Gadadara is expansion of Radharani, and Srinivasa is the expansion of Narada Muni. Moment. Shrivasa or Srinivasa? I think not Srinivasa, but Shrivasa is expansion of Narada Muni. Or in other words, they are the internal and the devotional energy respectively. This is from some letter from Srila Prabhupada, some letter from His Divine Grace, Abhacharya Naravrinda Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, from the 27th of May 1970, letter to Tamal Krishna. Yes, not Srinivasa Pandita, but Shrivasa is Narada Muni. Yes, Shrivasa Pandita is expansion of Narada Muni. Shrivasa Pandita is expansion of Narada Muni. Yes, not Srinivasa, Shrivasa. Sri Gadadara is expansion of Radharani, and Shrivasa Pandita is expansion of Narada Muni. Again, a citation here, a song. some poetry and then a translation from Gora Ganodeshdipika 90. Shrivasa Panditolima Ya Pura Naradamu Purvakya Munivara Yes Naradabri Sara Pandita Shrimastakkanishta Sadhana Shrivas Pandita Dimanapura Naradamuni Purvataki Munivara Yasinara Priya Sarama Pandita Srimasat Kanishta Sahadara. Intelligent Shrivasa Pandita had previously been Narada Muni, the best of the sages. Srivasa's younger brother, Shriman Rama Pandita, had previously been Narada's close friend Parvata Muni. This is from Gora Ganodeshdipika 90. Further, there are again some citations and explanations. Srila Vrindavana Das Thakura, the Vyasadeva of Sri Gaurasundara's pastimes. Has sung the praises of Shrivasa Pandita in this way. It was in Shrivasa Pandita's house that Sri Chaitanya enacted his pastimes of Sankirtana. Those four brothers, Shrivasa, Sri Rama, Shripati, and Srinidhi, were continuously engaged in singing the names of Sri Krishna. They worshipped Sri Krishna and bathed in the Ganges 3 times daily. These four brothers previously lived in the district of Sri Hatta. Later on, they came to reside on the banks of the Ganges. There they regularly used to attend the assembly of devotees who gathered at Sri Advaita Acharya's house to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam, and engage in congregational chanting of the holy names. Gradually, the brothers became very close friends of Sri Jagannatha Mishra, with whom they would chant and listen to the Bhagavata. In all matters, Shrivasa was the leader of the four brothers. By the strength of his devotion, he could understand that Sri Krishna was going to appear in the house of Jagannatha Mishra. Shivasa Pandita's wife's name was Sri Malini Devi. She was a very close friend of Sri Sachi Devi and was always very helpful for Sachi Devi. Seeing the wretched state of the fallen living entities in Kali Yuga, the devotees began to um, plentifully pray to the Lord for their deliverance. Krishna hears the call of his devotees on the full moon day in the month of Falguna, in the year 47 Christian era, 1486. The Lord incarnated himself. With his appearance, there was the simultaneous dawning of all auspiciousness within the world. as it became filled with Harinama. So this Lord was, of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he appeared in 1486. Just as Sri Acharya from Santipura could understand that the Lord had appeared. Similarly, Shrivasa and some of the other devotees of Navadvipa also understood. Since previously Malini Devi was engaged in attending upon such a Devi, Srivasa and Jagannatha Mishra came to her at this time and hinted that she was especially needed now. As long as the Lord chooses not to reveal himself, no one can possibly recognize him. Therefore, even though from his childhood the Lord exhibited many supernatural abilities, still, due to his deluding potency, the devotees could not fully understand his true nature. Their hearts were simply filled with parental affection for him without a trace of awe or reverence. Srivasa and Malini gave Sachidevi and Jagannatha Mishra advice how to raise their new son. Srivasa and Malini were just like a mother and father to Sri Gorasundara. Because young Nimai Pandit seemed to have grown arrogant by his scholarship, one day Srivasa Pandit decided to give him good counsel. Why do people study? So that they might understand what is devotion to Shri Krishna, he told Nimai. If by scholarship one doesn't gain devotion to Shri Krishna, then how will that learning help him? It becomes simply a tedious endeavor, which in the end is nothing but a waste of time. If you have actually learned something, then begin your worship of Shri Krishna now. Make haste. This is the purpose of your life. Nimai laughed as he replied, by your mercy, certainly that will come to be. If you are all kind enough for me, then definitely I'll again, I'll attain, I'll attain devotion to Sri Krishna, to Sri Krishna's lotus feet. Shortly thereafter, Mahaprabhu journeyed, went to Gaya, where he performed the pastimes of accepting initiation from Sri Ishvara Puri. Thus, gradually, he began to take up his real work of distributing loving devotion to Sri Krishna. One day, in an ecstatic mood, Lord Guranga entered Srivasa's house, asking, Srivas, whom do you worship? Whom do you meditate upon? Now, with your own two eyes, uh, see that person standing before you. This is from Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya 2, 258. It's written here, this citation. Saying this, Mahaprabhu entered the deity room within Srivasa's home temple and sat down on the Simhasana of Lord Vishnu, revealing his own four-armed form, holding the conch, disc club, holding the conch, disc, club, and lotus flower. Conch, disc, club, and lotus flower. Seeing this form, Srivasa was totally astonished. Shigorasundara then said, due to being called by your Sankirtana and the loud roaring of Sri Advaita Acharya, I have left Vaikuntha and have descended upon this mortal world, accompanied by my eternal associates. And I will destroy the miscreants and deliver the pious now, without fear. You can chant my glories. Hearing these words of the Lord, which dispelled all fear, Srivasa fell on the ground, offering his obeisances. Then he began to recite hymns in praise of the Lord. My obeisances at the lotus feet of the support of the entire universe, Vishambara, whose bodily color is like that of a newly arrived rain cloud, and wore garments which are the color of a thunderbolt. My obeisances at the lotus feet of the son of Sachi, who is bedecked with the ornaments of peacock feathers and a garland of reed beads, Kunja Mala. My obeisances at the lotus feet of the pupil of Ganga Dasa, the beauty of whose lotus face conquers that of 10 million moons. My obeisances at your lotus feet, you who carry a buffalo horn, stick, and flute. The four Vedas have proclaimed you to be the son of Nanda Maharja. Unto you, my dear Lord, my obeisances I offer again and again. Said Bhagavad Madhya 2, 272. Today my birth, my activities, my everything has become successful. Today my very existence has been crowned with the greatest auspiciousness. Today the race of my forefathers has finally borne fruit, and my house, which was also their house, has become blessed. Today the great fortune of my eyes is completely beyond calculation because I have been able to see that person whose lotus feet are served by the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi. Having described the glories of Sri Gaurasundara in various ways, Sri Gaurasundara showed even more compassion to Shrivasa by revealing himself to all of his family members. Seeing the niece of Shivasa Pandita present before him, uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called her, Nimai called her, Narayani, call upon Shri Krishna with tears in your eyes. And immediately this little girl, only 4 years old, as if in a delirium condition, began to cry out, Hari Krishna, while shedding tears incessantly. In fact, the flood of tears coursed down her body to such an extent that the ground around her feet became soaked. Bhagavad Madhya 2. Seeing little Narani totally agitated in ecstatic love, Shivasa's wife and even the household servants also began to shed tears of love. The courtyard of Shrivasa took on a very beautiful appearance, being decorated with ecstatic love for Krishna. There was one maidservant in Srivasa Pandita's house by the name Dukhi. Every day she used to bring water from the Ganga for Mahaprabhu's bath. One day Gaurasundar asked Srivasa, who brings this water? Dukhi brings it, Srivasa replied. From today her name is Sukhi. Thus the Lord Thus the Lord indicated that those who serve the Lord and the Lord's devotees are not Dukhi, sad. Rather, they are Sukhi, happy. At this time, Sri Gaurasundara began his lila as the Yuga Avatara at the house of Srivasa Pandit. Having been reunited with Nityananda Prabhu, he started congregational chanting of the Lord's holy names in the courtyard of Shrivasa's house. Nityananda Prabhu took up his residence there. Shimalini Devi served Nityananda as though he were he was her own son. Sri Nityananda was actually Shibaldeva himself, and in his pastimes as Lord Nityananda he behaved somewhat like a madman. He was always overwhelmed by love for Krishna, and was not aware of the state of his outward dress or ornaments. One evening, Shigora Sundara, accompanied by his associates, was engaged in chanting and dancing at the house of Srivasa. When one of Srivasthakur's sons passed away after having suffered the effects of a disease within the inner apartment of his house, the women began uh, to cry. They began to cry because the son died. Shivas Pandita, who was outside in the courtyard, understood some tragedy must have taken place. Something bad has happened. He quickly entered the house, only to find that his son has passed on the next day. On the next, he has passed away. As he was a very grave devotee and completely conversant in the science of the absolute truth, he was able to console the women in their grief. You're all aware of Krishna's glories, so please restrain yourself and don't cry. Whoever during his last moment hears the Lord's holy name, even though he might be the greatest sinner, attains Krishna's abode, and that incomparably wonderful Lord, he whose glories are sung by all his servants, up to and including Lord Brahma, is now personally dancing in the courtyard of your house. This moment is so auspicious that it is sure that this boy has successfully completed his journey from this world. In there, is there anything to be lamented at in this? His good fortune is completely assured. Is completely assured. I can understand that whatever part I have played in this is also crowned with success. This is also a citation from I don't know what book is that. There is some citation CBM. Chitanya Bhagavat Madhya Lila maybe yes. Chitanya Bhagavat Madhya Lila 25:30. He concluded by telling them, if you can't control your emotions because of your family affection to the boy, then at least don't cry now. You can cry later. The Supreme Lord of Gokula himself, Sri Gaura Sundara, is performing Sankirtana accompanied by his devotees in this house. If, due to your crying, the happiness that he is experiencing from dancing in ecstasy during Sankirtan is disturbed, if his happiness is disturbed, then I will just this minute jump into the Ganges and thus give up my own life. Not a blade of grass moved unless by Krishna's will. To see in this happiness or distress, or knowledge or ignorance, is simply imagination. Know that whatever Krishna wants is good, and thus, giving up your own selfish desires, become free from confusion and unnecessary bothering. Krishna is giving and Krishna is taking away, and it is Krishna alone who is maintaining everyone. Someone he protects and someone he destroys, all according to his will. If someone contemplates something contrary to Krishna's will, then as a result of his desire, he only get torment. Giving up all lamentation, simply hear Krishna's name and thus pass through all difficulties, feeling great happiness. Then your desires will actually be fulfilled. Having given all of these instructions to those present, Shivasa again went outside to join Mahaprabhu's ecstasy, ecstatic Mahaprabhu's ecstatic chanting and dancing. The women leaving the dead body came to hear the kirtan of Mahaprabhu, and so Mahaprabhu continued his chanting until the middle of the night, when everyone was at last leaving to take rest. Mahaprabhu spoke. Today my mind is feeling some. Today my mind is feeling some trouble. I think some sad event has occurred in Srivasa's house. The Pandit replied. What possible unhappiness could there be in that person's house where your divinely blissful um, presence is seen, where you are present? How can be some unhappiness? How can be there unhappiness if you are here? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replies, Shrivasa, why wasn't I feeling bliss in Kirtan today? What inauspicious thing um, transpired in your house? What inauspicious thing has happened in your house? Shrivasa answered, My lord, you are yourself all auspicious. Where you're present, no sorrow can be found anywhere. But the other devotees informed the Lord that Shivasa's son had passed away. Hearing this news, Goraraya cried out, Alas, what a tragic event! Why didn't you tell me of this unfortunate news before? I will explain, Shivaspanta replied. I couldn't tolerate disturbing you while you were enjoying Sankirtana. So this Gora Raya, it seems this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's called here Gora Raya. Interesting. Okay. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Alas, what a tragic event. Why didn't you tell me of this unfortunate news before? And then Shiva's Pandit replies, replied, I will explain. I couldn't tolerate disturbing you while you were enjoying Sankirtana. If one of my sons dies, what sorrow is there in that for me? If we all die while seeing you, that would actually be a matter of great happiness. On the other hand, if you would have to stop dancing, then perhaps I would have died. My lord, this was the danger that I feared, and thus I didn't tell you. Seeing Srivas Pandita's profound devotion, Shigora Sundara said, How can I give up such company as this? As the company of Srivasa Pandit. With tears in his eyes, he continued, Due to love for me, he didn't even feel lamentation at the death of his son. How will I abandon their companionship? The Lord continued to cry, and the devotees began to worry. Having heard him speak of leaving them, thereafter Mahaprabhu came to where the dead body of the child was lying. Touching it, he called, Boy, why are you going away and leaving Srivasa Pandita? The life of the dead child returned at the touch of Mahaprabhu's hand. After offering obeisances to the Lord, the child replied, "O Prabhu, whatever you you ordain this word. Whatever you order is absolute. No one can do anything but what is sanctioned by you. As many days as I was destined to remain here, that many days I have stayed. Now my time has come. My time has come and I have to leave, says the boy. Just a moment, have to. So the boy is brought back to life from Sri Mahaprabhu, and the boy says that actually his time has come. That's why he was leaving. He had left Shivasa Pandita. And then further, the child speaks. Child says, the child says, My lord, I have taken birth and died repeatedly, but this time, at the time of death, I passed away quite happily, having taken darshana of your beautiful face. After saying this, the child became silent. Shiguranga enjoyed a kind of uh, transcendental happiness, having heard the uncommon words of the dead child. The devotees floated in the ocean of bliss. Srivasa Pandita, along with his family members, then fell at the lotus feet of Sri Gorasundara and cried in ecstatic love. Mahaprabhu then told him, Since myself and Nityananda are your two sons. What is that? Mahaprabhu then told him, since myself and Nityananda are your two sons. He says this to Srivasa Pandita. Please don't feel any more distress in your mind over what has happened. Hearing these compassionate words of their Lord, the devotees were resounded. The devotees' tears were resounded throughout the heavens, proving the statements of Shastra. Their Lordship Gauranitai Nanda became deeply indebted to Srivasa due to his great love and service to the Lord, to uh, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. After Mahaprabhu took sannyas, Srivasa Pandit came to live in Kum, Kumarhata. Every year, he would go with his brothers to see Mahaprabhu at Puri. He also regularly came to see Sri Sachimata in Navadvip and would spend a few days there during those times. When Mahaprabhu came from Nilachala to see his mother and the river Ganges, he also stopped at Kumarhata to see Srivasa. After staying some days at Advaita's house, Mahaprabhu came to Srivasa's temple at Kumarhata. This is from Chaitanya Bhagavat. It was at this time that Mahaprabhu gave this benediction to Srivasa. There will never be poverty in your house if you simply remain indoors, never even venturing out of your house, whatever you require for your worship will come to your door. Shivas Pandita, along with his three brothers, eternally serve Sri Gorasundara. He is the incarnation of Narada Muni, and accompanied Mahaprabhu in all his Navadvipa Lilas. Across the Ganges from Halisahar, the present name of the village of Kumarhata, there is a town of the name Chuchura. Located here are some very beautiful deities of Sri Sri Nitai Goranga. At present, the Seva Puja is becoming carried on by Devananda Gaudiya Mata. The resident Swami Maharaja recalls that when the Gaudiya Mata took over the Sevaship, the Seva of this temple, its name was Shrivasa Mahaprabhu Mandir. Thus, there is a strong possibility that these are the worshipable deities of Srivasa Pandita. The temple is at present named Udavar Gaudiya Mat. It is near Chaumata, close to the Chorimar intersection, where the town clock stands. There is a rail station at Chuchura, Chisura, on the Bandel Navadvip line. Chuchura may also be reached by ferry from Halisahar on the other side of the Ganga, where Chaitanya Boda, the birthplace of Sri Ishvara Puri, is located. So, very beautiful. So we see how beautiful, what a beautiful stories as there connected with all the eternal associates of the Lord, with all the eternal associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and especially in that case with Srivasa Pandita. So I will see if there is some song which is connected with Srivasa Pandita. I don't know exactly, but see. Just a moment, I have to try to search. Yes, there is some song. Maybe another one is there also. There is some song. Okay, I will try to sing this song. This is a song from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. Jaya Gudurma Pati Gora. Jaya Gudruma 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 Pati Gora. Nita Jivana Advaitara Dana Vrindavana Baba Vipura Nita Jivana Advaitara Dana Nita Jivana Advaitara Dana Vrindavana Bhava Vibhora Gadadara Prana Shrivasa Sharana Gadadara Prana Shrivasa Sharana Krishna Bhakti Manasa Manasa Kora Krishna Bhakti Manasa Manasa Kora Jaya Godruma Pati Gora Nitai Jiva Advaitara Dhamma Vrindavana Vibhora Gadadara Prana Shrivasa Sharana Krishna Bhakti Manasakara Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Translation. This is the song Jaya Gudruma Pati Gora from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. All glories to Sri Gaurahari, the Lord of Godruma. He is the life of Nitai, he is the treasure of Advaita, and he is absorbed in the bhava of Sri Vrindavana. He is the life air of Gadadhara. He is the shelter of Shrivasa, and he steals the hearts of the devotees of Sri Krishna. Okay, now I will come to an end already. Just a moment. Namaste Narasihaya Praladala Hiranyakashipu Raksha Shiratanka no Kala Ito Nrishiho Parato Nrishiho Yato Yato Mitato Nrishiho Nrishiho Hridaya Nrishiho Nrishiho Madim Saranya Prabhupada Namaste Narasimhaya Praladala Dadainaya Kashipuraksha Shilatanka Nakamaya Rishi Paraton Rishya Yato Yato Yamitaton Rishimha Bahishimha Hridaya Rishimha Drishimha Madim Sharanya Tabakara Kamalavara Nakama Putashringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanobringa Keshavadrita Naragari Rupa Jajagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Shri Nishimha Janri Shimha Jaya Janri Shimha De Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bri Shri Nishimha Janri Shimha Jaya Janri Shimha De Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bri Shri Nishimha Janri Shimha Jaya Janri Shimha De Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bri Shri Simha Janri Simha Jaya Janri Simha Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bri Jaya Nrisimhadev 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 Jaya Prahlad Prahlad Nrisimha Prahlad Nrisimha Prahlad Nrisimha Jai Lakshmi Nrisimha Lakshmi Nrisimha Lakshmi Nrisimha Lakshmi Nrisimha Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra Jai Baladeva Jai Baladeva Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra Subhadra Jai Subhadra Jai Subhadra Jai Subhadra Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra Gauranitai 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 Jaya Shri Shri Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Shri Shri Gauranitai Jai Shrivasa Jai Shrivasa Jai Shrivas Pandit Jai Shrivas Pandit Jai Shrivas Pandit Jai Shrivas Pandit Jai Jai Kadamba Kanana Swami, Jai Kadamba Kanana Swami, Jai Kadamba Kanana Swami, Jai Kadamba Kanana Swami. Radha Gopinatha Radha Gopinatha Radha Madhava Radha 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 Gopinatha Radha Gopinatha Radha Madhava Radha Shyam. Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. See how beautiful are the stories of Vaishnavas, especially of the Vaishnavas in Arkanuga Bhakti, in Rupanuga Bhakti. Why we glorify the Vaishnavas? We glorify the Vaishnavas because we are very we feel encouraged when we hear the biographies or the life and the stories from the life of the Vaishnavas, especially of those Vaishnavas who are in Rupanuga Bhakti. And it's not only that, of course, they give blessings to us, and that's why it is very auspicious for us to glorify the Vaishnavas in their appearance day and in their disappearance day. But it's not only about this, about just wanting to have blessings. It's not only that. We are just really very encouraged when we hear their biographies, how they have lived, what beautiful things has happened connected with them and in their presence. Also, we all know what Srila Raghunath Goswami is saying in his Srimad Shiksha. We all know verse 5, a famous verse from Shiksha of Srila Raghunath Goswami. Sachsta kshta pradavikata pashlibirha. Prakamam kamadi prakata, this is verse 5. Prakamam kamadi prakata pataptiviyati karahi. Kalep ti bakabit prakapakane. Krutam pulkaranavati setata manaitha. Sachsta kshta pradavikata pashlibirha. Prakamam kamadi prakata pataptiviyati karahi. Sachista Kstaprda, Kalepatwachnehem Tipakapit Fortenpagane, Kurtan Putkrav Diseta Manaitha. So, Sachista Kstaprda Piktapashli Biriha. Prakmonkum di Praktap Tiviatikarihi. Kalepatwachneham Tibelkapit Fortenpagane, Kurtan Putkrav Diseta Manaitha. They said, O mind, in this material existence, there are the assembled aggressors on the open road. We all know these aggressors in the life. There are these aggressors. They can be outside. They can be in us also. They, it can be, for example, lust, anger from outside, other or from us. It can come out from us. Or there can be just some situations which are happening. But these assembled aggressors on the open road in the material existence, we all know them. We all know them. They are just there. So, and he says further, Shri Raghunath Goswami says further, O mind, they are binding my neck with the torturous, dreadful ropes of wicked deeds. They are killing me. You, mind, you should loudly call out to the Vaishnavas, the protectors of the path of Sri Krishna, the killer of Bakasura. As a result of that, those devotees will protect you from the hands of those aggressors. So, this is also another reason why we glorify the Vaishnavas. Yes, okay. So, if I try to say something, you all know I'm not qualified on such topics like Vedic literature or biographies of Vaishnavas or comments on these topics. I'm not trying to instruct anybody. I'm just only trying to understand these topics. Of course, I have to try to understand these topics under the guidance of teachers, under the guidance of Diksha Guru and Shiksha Gurus. As I always say, I will again repeat this. All of you who are Vaishnavas in Rupanuga Bhakti, you are all my gurus. I pay obeisances to you. Dandavat Pranam, Vanchakalpatarupascha, Kripasnukapevcha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your attention.